What's up out there, podcast? This is Justin Flinner coming to you live from Northern Virginia with the Justin Flinner podcast from My Metro Medicine. Today's topic is one that is, I think, really important because we tend to lose focus on it as we go through our lives. And the title of today's podcast is Never Stop Being Childish. Now, it sounds a little funny, right? Now, who would want to be childish throughout their entire life? But you know what? There are certain points in our life where we could use that little head of a child popping through our skin saying, you know what, why don't you have a little bit more fun? Why don't you let go a bit? So I bet you know a few people in your lives, whether at work or in your personal lives or, you know what, maybe even yourself. There's times where, you know, we tend to get so focused in on what it is that we're doing or what it is that we're working on in our lives or wherever it is that we're headed that we lose track of how things used to be. You know, when people make goals, they usually say, well, the goal is based off of how they used to be. They want to get back to how things were. Well, what if you actually practiced never losing the things that you had? What if you practiced admiring or building upon the things that you have so that they, in fact, never get lost, but always get better? Part of that is being a little bit childish from time to time. And I don't mean that in a negative way, like throwing temper tantrums or complaining about the little things in life, like, oh, who took my pencil, or Billy chewed on my eraser, or somebody threw a crayon at me. All of those things might have happened in our younger years, but that's not what I mean by being childish, and I'm sure you understand that. So when you can be a little bit childish, you show your youth. You show what it is that we are innately born with. We've all seen little children running around in the park or through the mall, or we hear the cute little things that they say. I'll never forget the story about what my brother said. Now, forgive me, Derek, for telling this. I'm sure you don't care, but I'm going to say it anyways. We're walking through Hershey Park. I don't really remember because I was too little, but my parents would tell me this story time and time again, that we were walking through the park one time and saw this, well, politically correct overweight man, or weight challenge, whatever you want to call it, someone who has a challenge with their weight. And he looked over at him. My brother was probably maybe 4 years old or 5 years old. I'm not quite sure. Don't quite remember. But he looked over at the guy, turned back, looked at my parents and said, that guy's really fat. I mean, he meant no harm. He's a child. Now, the man might have hurt him, and if he did, he probably felt quite embarrassed. Okay? So maybe my parents apologized if that situation. Again, I'm too young to know what exactly happened, or I was too young to know what exactly happened. But the story tells you a little bit about the innocence of children, and also, you know, they can be quite direct. They can tell you the truth. They're not afraid. Why? Because they haven't built in all of those filters over the years of, oh, you shouldn't say those things. It's not very nice. Or, oh, you shouldn't do that because it doesn't show that you have the proper manners or things of this nature. Now, yes, all of those things are important in terms of showing you have respect for your elders, and you can be polite in some kind of civil way. But whatever happened to us being able to find that little spark inside of us where we can actually ignite the child inside and show that we can have a little fun and not take things too seriously. Like, even today, I mean, there were a couple situations happened with me throughout my day that, you know, it irked me quite a bit. It's like, really? How do people think this way? And how can they get outside of themselves and just, you know, have a little fun? Standing at the metro, I don't know if you saw my vlog today, but my vlog was like, okay, I'm having a little lesson in patience right now. It took me literally what should have been a 30 to 40 minute commute. It took me 3 hours today. But I didn't stand there and complain. I made use of my time. I figured out something to do. I had a little fun while I was at it. Listened to some good music, maybe threw a few dance moves on the sidewalk, whatever it was. I mean, I did all of the above, by the way. And, you know, when can people learn to let loose a bit? I mean, just let go. Let go of all the things that are keeping you from revealing what it is that you actually do want to reveal. So what? You have something that somebody might take a little bit personally up front by telling them that, like my brother did when he was just a small child, saying, wow, that guy is fat. But maybe it's something that guy needed to hear from a small child to really let it kick into gear that I need to do something about my weight if a 4-year-old can see that I got issues with my health. Okay? Now, that's a little bit along the different lines of what the topic is today. So I think you get my point, though. We shouldn't take life too seriously. We should let go a little bit. We shouldn't hold on to the stories that we have developed over the years or that we have been told to believe or to follow in the footsteps of because that's just how we're meant to be in society. You know what? I mean, molds are made so that they can be broken, and not broken forever, but broken and down, and so that they can be reformed into a new kind of mold. So we're supposed to have a little bit of fun in life. We're supposed to be creative. We're supposed to be, open-minded, come up with new ways to do things, be innovative, not stuck in the same rut that things have been for decade after decade because, that's just the way things are, and that's just the way things have been, and this is just the way things are done, and this is the way people are. You know what? Pardon my French, but all of those excuses, go back to last week's podcast, all of those excuses are bullshit. I don't believe them for a minute. You know why? Because every individual has the ability to say, you know what? I'm going to have a little fun with this. Doesn't matter if you're at work, doesn't matter if you're in school, doesn't matter if you're in the car, doesn't matter if you're in the shower. Who cares where you are? You can always decide to let go of all the seriousness in your life and say, you know what? It's time I had a little fun. It's time I started to act a little bit more like a child. Okay? Again, you can get the point that I don't mean to be childish in a negative way or to show disrespect, but to go have a little fun. Let loose. Shake your arms a little bit. Move your head side to side. Put some good music on, some happy music, something that'll get the energy moving in your body and will allow you to experience what it is to be free. Because how free are kids in their speech, in their actions, and even in in their play and in their stages of learning. And it's amazing when you watch children, anything, it doesn't even have to be a child, it can just be a young animal, and how free they are when they run around, and they don't care. Because why? They're experiencing life the way it was meant to be experienced, without any predisposition or without any story, without any mask over them, or without any brainwashing, if you want to call it that, that has taught them to think in a particular way and act in a particular way. They're going to have those things as they grow up over the years, just like we have developed them. But we should never, ever forget what it is like and what it feels like to be like a child. You want the fountain of youth? This is your fountain of youth. Take a look back, close your eyes, think of one of the best childhood memories that you can ever stir up, and live in that moment for a good 60 seconds, a good 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long it is, and however long it keeps you there. Enjoy that sensation. And then when you come out of it, see if you can maintain it. And even more, see if you can manifest it whenever you want. Because if you can maintain your youth through the observation of old memories, then you can transform them into new ones. And you can create new stories of how to live your life. You can be more flexible, more free, more open-minded, less caring of all of the seriousness in life. Because doesn't work out today, it's going to work out tomorrow. It's literally not the end of the world. And even when it does reach the end of the world, and you can say that I have no regrets because I learned to experience life to its absolute fullest, and I can change how I want to be when I want to be. At the end of your days, if you can say those words and you can really feel deep inside what that truly means, that is fulfillment, my friends. So that's today's message. Never stop being a child. Just do me a favor and don't be a brat. Okay? All right. You can check out all of our old podcasts on the Justin Flinner Podcast. Remember, we are available on iTunes, Alexa, soon to be the Google Play Store, and hopefully tons of other platforms. So don't miss out. Tune in. Find us on all the social media platforms. We really appreciate you guys listening in on us, and we look forward to talking to you again soon. We'll talk to you next time. This is Justin Flinner from the Justin Flinner Podcast, again from Northern Virginia, My Metro Medicine. Check us out. We'd love to hear from you. Take care.